the Beatles, a name that echoes through the annals of music history. Their influence on popular culture is undeniable, their music a timeless soundtrack to generations. From screaming fans to groundbreaking albums, their journey is a testament to the power of dreams and the magic of musical collaboration. But before the world knew them as John, Paul, George and Ringo, they were just a group of lads from Liverpool with a shared passion for music, playing under a different name entirely. Their story begins not in the vibrant, electrifying atmosphere of sold-out stadiums, but in the more humble setting of post-war Liverpool. A city rebuilding itself brick by brick after the devastation of World War II, Liverpool became a breeding ground for a new generation of artists and musicians. Among them were a group of teenagers who would eventually become the biggest band in the world. Their journey, however, started with a name that reflected their youthful beginnings and the environment that shaped them. This name, now a piece of music history trivia for many, was the Quarrymen, a moniker that speaks of their origins, their school days, and the very foundations upon which their legendary partnership was built. It was a name that held within it the seeds of their future greatness, a name that represented the raw, unpolished talent that would eventually blossom into the phenomenon we know as the Beatles. Their story is one of transformation, of evolving sound, and of the enduring power of friendship and shared ambition. This essay will delve into the early days of the Beatles, exploring their time as the Quarrymen, the reasons behind their initial name, and the pivotal moments that led to their eventual transformation into the iconic band that changed the face of music forever. It's a story of youthful exuberance, of musical exploration, and of the unwavering belief in the power of their dreams. It's a story that begins not with a bang, but with the simple strum of a guitar and the shared passion of a few Liverpool lads. The name the Quarrymen wasn't chosen at random. It was a direct reflection of the school they attended, Quarry Bank High School for boys. This school, located in a suburb of Liverpool, played a significant role in the formation of the band. It was within its walls that John Lennon, the driving force behind the group, first met many of his future bandmates. The school's name, etched in stone above the entrance, became a symbol of their shared experiences and a natural choice for their band's name. Quarry Bank, established in 1922, was a grammar school, providing a more academically focused education than the secondary modern schools of the time. It catered to boys from a variety of backgrounds, fostering a diverse environment that likely contributed to the creative energy that would eventually give birth to the Quarrymen. The school's emphasis on discipline and tradition contrasted sharply with the rebellious spirit of rock and roll that was beginning to emerge in the 1950s. This juxtaposition of traditional education and burgeoning musical rebellion perhaps played a role in shaping the band's unique sound and identity. The Quarrymen, while named after their school, were not defined by it. They were a product of their time, embracing the new sounds and styles that were sweeping across the Atlantic from America. The name, therefore, became more than just a reference to their school. It represented a starting point, a foundation from which they would launch their musical exploration. The Quarrymen name, while seemingly simple, carries a weight of history and significance. It represents the genesis of one of the most influential bands of all time, a band that would transcend its humble beginnings to achieve global superstardom. It's a reminder that even the biggest stars start somewhere, often in the most unassuming of places. The Quarrymen, named after a school in Liverpool, would eventually become the Beatles, a name that would resonate around the world. Liverpool, a port city with a rich musical heritage, provided the perfect backdrop for the formation of the Quarrymen. The city's vibrant music scene, influenced by the influx of American blues and rock and roll records arriving via the docks, provided a fertile ground for young musicians to explore their creativity. Quarry Bank High School, situated within this dynamic environment, became a hub for aspiring musicians. The school, while primarily focused on academics, also offered opportunities for students to engage in extracurricular activities, including music. This provided a platform for John Lennon and his friends to come together and share their passion for music. The school's location in a working-class suburb of Liverpool also meant that the students were exposed to a diverse range of musical influences, from traditional folk music to the emerging sounds of rock and roll. This blend of influences shaped the early sound of the Quarrymen, a mix of skiffle, a popular genre in Britain at the time, and the raw energy of early rock and roll. The Quarrymen's music reflected the spirit of their city, a city that was undergoing a period of transformation and renewal in the post-war years. Liverpool's vibrant cultural landscape, combined with the opportunities provided by Quarry High School, created the perfect environment for the band to take root and flourish. The school's name, therefore, became more than just a label for the band. It represented a specific time and place, a unique confluence of factors that contributed to the birth of one of the most iconic bands in history. The Quarrymen, named after their school, were a product of their environment, a testament to the power of place in shaping artistic expression. Their story is inextricably linked to Liverpool, a city that would forever be associated with the music of the Beatles. Section 4. John Lennon, the architect of a musical dream. John Lennon, a complex and charismatic figure, was the driving force behind the Quarrymen. His rebellious spirit and artistic vision shaped the band's early sound and direction. From his early fascination with American rock and roll icons like Elvis Presley and Chuck Berry to his penchant for pushing boundaries, Lennon's influence on the Quarrymen was undeniable. He was the catalyst, the spark that ignited the musical fire that would eventually burn brightly across the globe. Lennon's childhood experiences, marked by loss and a sense of alienation, fueled his creative drive. He found solace and expression in music, using it as a means to channel his emotions and connect with others. His rebellious nature, often clashing with the strictures of his school and society, found an outlet in the raw energy of rock and roll. He saw music as a force for change, a way to challenge conventions and express his individuality. His songwriting, even in its early stages, displayed a unique blend of wit, vulnerability, and social commentary. He wasn't afraid to tackle difficult subjects, to express his anger and frustration with the world around him. This willingness to push boundaries, to challenge the status quo, became a defining characteristic of the Quarrymen and later the Beatles. Lennon's leadership, while sometimes abrasive, was essential to the band's development. He pushed his bandmates to experiment, to explore new sounds and styles, and to constantly strive for something more. He instilled in them a sense of ambition, a belief that they could achieve something extraordinary. John Lennon, the architect of the Quarrymen, laid the foundation for the band's future success, his vision and determination shaping the trajectory of their musical journey. He was the driving force, the creative heart of a band that would change the world. Section 5. Paul McCartney's arrival, a pivotal moment. The arrival of Paul McCartney and the Quarrymen marked a turning point in the band's history. McCartney, a talented musician with a keen ear for melody and harmony, brought a new dimension to the group's sound. His musical prowess and songwriting abilities complemented Lennon's raw energy and rebellious spirit, creating a dynamic partnership that would become the cornerstone of the Beatles' success. Their meeting, a chance encounter at a church fete in 1956, would prove to be a pivotal moment in music history. McCartney's musical background, rooted in a family that encouraged musical exploration, provided a valuable counterpoint to Lennon's more self-taught approach. He brought a sense of musical sophistication to the Quarrymen, expanding their repertoire beyond the simple chords and structures of skiffle. His ability to craft catchy melodies and harmonies added a layer of polish to Lennon's raw talent, creating a unique blend of grit and grace. Their collaboration, while initially tentative, quickly blossomed into a creative powerhouse. They began writing songs together, sharing ideas and pushing each other to explore new musical territories. Their contrasting personalities, Lennon's rebelliousness and McCartney's more easygoing nature, created a creative tension that fueled their songwriting partnership. They challenged each other, debated, and ultimately pushed each other to create music that was greater than the sum of its parts. McCartney's arrival not only enhanced the Quarrymen's musical abilities, but also strengthened their bond as a group. He brought a sense of camaraderie and shared purpose, solidifying the foundation upon which their future success would be built. His presence marked a shift in the band's dynamic, transforming them from a group of friends playing music to a cohesive unit with a shared vision. Paul McCartney's arrival was more than just the addition of another musician. It was the catalyst that transformed the Quarrymen into a band with the potential to achieve greatness.